Hey, I'm Bob. I've been blind since birth and I'm into Power Rangers. If you like the video, share, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. These things help the channel. I'm holding the box set in my hands again. We're talking about episode 12 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers today. This one was called Power Ranger Punks. It's one of my favorites. It aired on September the 20th in 1993. I would first see this episode during Think Pink Week in 1995. I would be home from school sick this particular day of the week. And this was a 5 episode run that they were doing spotlighting the Pink Ranger. I taped the episode on cassette tape because I couldn't find a VHS tape to slap into the VCR at the time. And I would tape a lot of my old Power Rangers episodes on audio cassette because, well, I didn't need to look at them. So, my friends would come over and they'd actually like to listen to the episodes too. I guess they'd seen them already. So, yeah, the episode starts off in the park. The guys and the gals are playing volleyball, and Babu, he's sneaking around. He's making himself a wicked punk potion, and he has put all kinds of nasty ingredients into this thing. He's put, what does he say, snail slime, poison ivy, and rattlesnake lips in there. So, all kinds of yummy ingredients. And putties are sent down. The Rangers are fighting those guys while Babu is doctoring their drinks. And after the putties are defeated, the two Power Rangers, Kimberly and Billy, they've worked up a mighty big thirst, as some Texans have called it. I don't say that. I live in Texas, but I don't call it that. And Billy and Kimberly, they guzzle those drinks like nobody's business, and their personalities just instantly change. They go from goody goods, as Bulk would call them, to, well, Power Ranger punks. And they call their friends dorks. They refuse a game of volleyball, and they just go off, like probably strutting. I don't know. Maybe they're strutting, and they are not themselves, man. I mean, if you call your friends dorks, man, oh, watch it, guys. So, meanwhile, in Rita's Moon Palace, she is having Finster make her a monster. She's got two of the Rangers out of the way, and she's thinking it's not going to be any problem at all to get rid of the other three. So she's got Finster working on a Terror Toad. And this is the part of the video where I say Hasbro should make that, because he'd be an awesome action figure, a wonderfully terrible or a terribly wonderful action figure to have in the Lightning Collection. I've wanted this guy in action figure form since hearing him, or maybe I should say seeing him, because I did see him in my own way on that particular day in 1995. He would make a great figure. You could give him his energy tongue that would come out of his horn. He could have an actual tongue, because he did use that. You could have that attached and detached to the front of his face. His horn could be detachable too, because that thing does come off in the battle. I mean, he could have interchangeable hands. I think he did fight with his claws. You could give him some pictures of the Power Rangers to slap onto his big belly. He could have an energy effect piece to go into his horn, because I think he did fire energy beams from that. Just a really cool, menacing monster that Hasbro should make. Anyway, I'm distracting myself from the episode. Next day at school, Bulk and Skull, their lockers are jammed. And, well, they do open them, but, I mean, it sounds like a whole bunch of maybe paint cans fall out of there, or maybe cups filled with stagnant water. I don't know. It sounds like a big wet mess whenever they dislodge their locker doors. And Kimberly and Billy come up and they're just snickering. And Bulk and Skull are like, "Would you look at that?" I mean, they are interested. Skull is smitten because Kimberly asks him if he wants to go out on Saturday, and how does she say it? Tear up the town. Oh, that doesn't sound like Kimberly at all. It sounds like Marge Simpson trying to flirt with Homer. I don't even know if I'm going to use this take. She doesn't talk like that. If you're a guy and you're trying to do punk Kimberly, kids, I would advise against this. It doesn't, I was just trying to sound menacing and it didn't come out that way at all. I don't know what came over me. I think I was possessed by Marge Simpson. Or maybe Patty and Selma. I don't know. So yeah, the Rangers are teleported to the command center because Zordon, he knows something is wrong with with the Rangers, with Kimberly and Billy. And he also lets them know that the Terratoad is on the scene. So Kimberly and Billy are put in a force field. I guess they're in timeout for being punks. And I mean, they're name calling and they're making threats, and the other three Rangers morph and they deal with the Terratoad. Trini is the first one to fall. Terratoad eats her. I think he uses an energy beam from his horn, or an energy tongue, as the wiki site says, and turns her into a little energy sphere and gobbles her up. And Alpha, he's got to go find an antidote for this potion. Zordon informs him of something called the singing squash. This is going to be another one of those episodes that I'm really trying to keep a straight face here. I love that alliteration. And so he goes to this other dimension, and Alpha, man, we get to see him in action today. Rita sends some putties to try and stop him, but he gets the squash, and it sings a wonderful, a beautiful soprano note, by the way. You got to give it to the singing squash, man. It could be in its own opera if it wanted to be. And they extract the juice from the squash. And meanwhile, Zach and Jason are fighting the Toad by themselves, and Zach gets eaten. The Terratoad flings his tongue out, grabs Zach, swallows him, and now it's just Jason. But Kimberly and Billy, they enjoy their drinks, and they're back to normal. They don't know what they're doing in the command center. I guess they've lost a whole day. That would be kind of freaky. Then they morph, and well, Jason gets eaten, and then it's just Kimberly and Billy by themselves. They cut off Terratoad's horn with their blade blasters. I think they used them in blade form, and Zordon had let them know that was one of Terratoad's weak spots. So then Billy is eaten, and it's just Kimberly by herself. Babu comes up, and he's trying to stop her, but Kimberly unleashes a volley of arrows, and Zordon has informed the Rangers that the Terratoad has another weak spot on his neck, so she gets him in the neck. The other Rangers, they are spewed up by the Terratoad, and Kimberly fires one last arrow, and this thing goes right into the craw of this freaking frog, and this frog, he is done, and Rita is upset, of course. The Terratoad is no more. I loved that finishing move, and I think the Lightning Collection Kimberly, she comes with an arrow that probably looks like what it looked like when she shot it. It's just this big, wonderful looking lightning arrow. I tend to wonder if we're going to get a Terratoad to go with that arrow at some point. Anyway, the episode ends with Bulk and Skull showing up, and Kimberly refuses to date Skull. They challenge the kids to a game of volleyball. They get caught up in the net, and the episode ends with everybody laughing. It is one of my absolute favorite episodes of all time. I love the monster. I know people are into the whole Kimberly and Billy as punks thing, and yeah, they did a really cool job with the changes in attitude. Just an all-around fun episode. I think my favorite quote of the episode was, "You guys are dorks." That's some pretty intense language for Power Rangers there. Me and my brother used to go around quoting the episode sometimes. Even my mom would, she'd just come in sometimes and she'd just randomly say it. Oh, are you kidding me? It's a spam call. Hang on. This is the weirdest video I think I've filmed. This is the second time today that I've gotten spam calls while I was filming stuff. Yeah, it was another one of those telling me that the warranty on my non-existent car had expired. Terratoad, is that you on the phone? Anyway, next time we're going to be talking about Peace, Love, and Woe. It's one of my favorite episodes spotlighting the Blue Ranger, Billy. So be here for Peace, Love, and Woe. In the meantime, don't take any spam calls. Watch out for Terratoads. Don't tear up the town. And don't do anything punkish, okay? I will see you guys in the next video. And don't channel Marge Simpson either. Bye.